we talk about social norms quite a lot. I mentioned earlier, we often infer what the right thing to do is from others. And so one very obvious thing to look at is, what are other people doing? And if no one else has any kind of, say, risk mitigations that are visible, we should be okay then. That kind of guide, although we know in theory there's a risk, well, if no one else is doing anything, I'm probably okay then. And one final thing as well here is, even if you know there's a risk in theory, what can happen is this idea of information aversion. So this is where you know there's a risk, and that thought makes you uncomfortable. You know there's a risk and you're not actually doing anything to mitigate it. You're just kind of vulnerable to it. So one way of resolving that uncomfortable situation is to actually take some mitigation procedures. But an easier way might be to explain it away, to rationalize it, to not think about it, and to avoid information that brings that to mind. And this is why people, for example, don't want to get tested for certain diseases, because they feel like, well, what's the point just getting worried about it? It's safer and easier and more pleasant not to know, really.